Kerry, and this is Rascal somewhere behind me. Now I'm going to read chapter 15 of Misty of Chincoteague, and it's called The Fire Chief Pays a Call. There was no question about Misty's happiness. She pranced around the ponies that came and went as if she knew that they were temporary guests, while she, Misty, was one of the family. This was her home. When she playfully nipped the older ponies, they would lay back their ears until they saw who it was. Then they would whinny as much as to say, it was only Misty. She could be wild as a hare or gentle as a lamb. When the days grew brisk, she would galump across the hard marsh, then suddenly she would stop stock still, letting a gull light on her back while her nostrils quivered with excitement. Do you reckon Phantom is happy too? Maureen asked one day when the winter wind blew, ran, and cold. Of course she's happy, replied Paul. Did you see me ride her down to the point before breakfast? She was neighing for joy. Her hooves hardly touched earth. Oh, I know she's happy then, but what? Well, sometimes I see her leaning out over the fence, not yearning for the grass on the other side of it, but just looking away toward the white hills and the sea. And is there something, Paul asked after a little thought, is there something far away about her? That's what I mean, Paul. I've noticed it too, Paul admitted. Sometimes, when you can see the wild ponies frisking along Chincoteague Beach, she seems to be watching them. And it's kind of sad, like the time you wanted the doll with real hair at the carnival and you won the pencil box instead. Maureen blushed. Now that I'm grown up, I've almost forgotten about the doll. And Phantom will forget her young days too. Sure she will. We'll race her every day. She's happy then. There was no doubt about it. The Phantom was wild with happiness when she raced. She showed it in the arching of her neck, in the upward pluming of her tail, in the flaring of her nostrils. Paul and Maureen had only to close their legs in on her sides to make her surge forward. Then she would skim the earth like the gulls she knew so well. With the passing days, the island folk began to notice her speed. Reckon Black Comet's going to have a little competition next pony petting, she said, wagging their heads wisely. Others sneezed at the idea. Phantom's got too much wildness in her, they said. She's just as liable to jump the fence as run around the track. You can't depend on them wild ones. Over in Pocomoke, there was talk of the Phantom too. In the schoolyards, across dinner tables, in the barber shops, everywhere the Phantom's name could be heard. She's built for speed, one mainlander admitted, but I still favor Black Comet. He's used to the crowds. He knows how to snug along the fence. He knows how to save his power for the home stretch. Spring came early to the little sea island. By the first week in April, myrtle bushes were covered over with a yellow fuzz, and pine trees wore light green fingertips to show another year's growth. Phantom seemed to grow more restless as the season advanced. When Paul and Maureen came from school, they sometimes found her pacing around and around the corral, her head lowered. Other times she stood leaning far out over the fence, and there was a wild, sad look about her. Maybe she's looking for us, Maureen would say hopefully. Maybe, Paul nodded. One late afternoon toward the end of April, the fire chief paid a surprise call. We expected you was comin', explained Grandma, her round face beaming. See, Maureen's got a place all laid out for ye. The fire chief smiled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He counted the blue and white plates around the kitchen table. Then he sniffed the ham baking and he saw the heaping mound of oysters rolled in eggs and cracked meal and fried a golden brown. He moistened his lips. I'm staying, he said. There was not much talk while Grandma cut slivers of pink ham, dished up the oysters, and ladled hot gravy over the dumplings. And there was even less while everyone ate his fill. At last the fire chief pushed his plate aside and lighted his pipe. I've really come to see the owners of the Phantom, he said between puffs. Wonder if they'd be interested in... At exactly the moment the fire chief's pipe went out, and he had to stop in the middle of what he had to say. Slowly he found a match and relit it. Paul's and Maureen's eyes were fixed on the chief's. They leaned forward on the very edge of their chairs. Wonder if they'd be interested in... He stopped to puff and puff. Yes? Questioned Paul quickly. In racing the Phantom against Black Comet. Paul's eyes caught Maureen's. Then their faces broke into a grin. Ho, 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 chortled Grandpa. I don't know who the joke's on, but these two have been expecting to race Phantom ever since last pony penning. Even before that, Maureen said gleefully. Why, that morning over on Chincoteague when we first saw the Phantom, we talked about it even then. Paul blushed. Guess we just took it for granted you'd ask us. The Fire Chief laughed heartily. Well, now it's settled for sure, he said as he stood up to go. Lucy Lee can't run this year. She'll be having a new colt along about then. And Patches has been sold to a dealer. So it'll be the Phantom against Black Comet and Delbert Chestnut Filly, Firefly. And may the best hoss win, prayed Grandpa as he nervously fingered the bristles of his ear.